You are now tuned in to the Chop Shop Podcast with ChopMaster J.
Oh yeah, yeah. ChopMaster J, the Chop Shop. Chop Shop, Chop Shop, Chop Shop. ChopMaster J. Oh yeah, Judy Klein, Judy Klein. So too, son of the underground. Here we go,
You all tuned in to the Chop Shop Podcast with ChopMaster J.
Oh yeah. What up, people? Welcome to another episode of the Chop Shop with your man ChopMaster J, Judy Klein, and so too.
Yes, sir.
With my man Mega falling through.
Check one.
You know,
Check.
I'm so excited, Judy Klein, as in the idea of, you know, releasing music and releasing new music. I'm so old school, Judy. I'm from the era of recording contracts and domestic and foreign licensing agreements, things of that nature. I've yet to put out any music in the digital era of digital record releasing stuff.
Yeah, I think I saw an episode of the Flintstones once about how they used to release music back in those days.
Yeah, exactly. You know, back in the day were long-term contracts and
Slavery,
big-
I think, is what it was called.
yeah, it was a plantation. It was
usury,
it was
yeah.
Sonic plantations.
Yes.
You know, run amok, and we definitely were a part of it. And you know, it's really kind of a trip to understand now. Like I could only imagine, you know, right now, but I'm thinking as a young artist, a person that I could make a song and put it up the same day for sale. Like I could have that kind of energy and that kind of instantaneous, you know, the whole idea from back in the day when we were releasing music, especially as certain sounds and certain things became real prominent. You really you wanted your music to come out with the latest sounds. And if you didn't meet certain requirements for that label to distribute, your album or song could get bumped and wouldn't come out till later. Then you had to worry that your sounds were dated and you want to redo the song. So the idea of being able to make music this, you know, earlier in the day and have it up for sale or have it up to party with or to just put out to the world later that day or that night, I'm so excited about getting into this and stuff because we have a plethora of content, and the idea is that it can really only be exciting as I'm sitting here with So Too and Mega Judy, and you know this is their era of releasing music. They did not have to participate in the plantation era and things of that nature. And you know, what you think about that, Judy? The whole new fresh energy of being able to release music on your own.
Oh, a long time ago, I knew that it was possible. And as you know, I've been an advocate of do it yourself because the technology has allowed people to. And what's great about now versus, say, 14, 15 years ago is there are so many ways for artists to be able to promote the music themselves. And you don't have to spend $150,000 on a single to put it out, which is
Right.
what, you know, that's what the rate was. You put out a single, that's what the artist was charged. That was your radio for one single. And with the way technology has led to different avenues of music discovery, you don't have to have these big, enormous budgets to be able to make an impact. You just have to put your music out there, find fans who are willing to listen to it, and be good enough with your engagement that people will refer you, that people will share your stuff. And I love it. I think it it kind of democratizes music as opposed to the gatekeepers being the ones to decide, well, this is what's going out and this is what you need to sound like and you got to be like the next so and so. Everybody can be themselves. However, there's a couple of caveats, couple of disadvantages to that. There's an oversaturation of lots of stuff out there, so it's kind of hard to sort through it to find the good stuff, the golden stuff. And that's a problem. And then, when you look at the rates that artists are making off of streaming, it's pennies or it might be nothing if you don't meet a certain threshold with streaming. So it's not all 100% good, but if you have good music, you're consistent, you can build a brand, find other ways to supplement your income, like live performances, touring, merchandise, etc., then yeah, you can make a good go of it, make a pretty decent living without having to be raped and pillaged of all of your profits, like the old days.
Right. Right. Well, I know that it's ever so important to want to be able to kind of control your situation, your life, and your environment, and like you're saying, the idea of folks uh, being the gatekeepers and controlling it and basically homogenizing a lot of the music so that they can market it or do what they do, and not necessarily having to be not having to take any risk or chances and minimizing the creativity that would come out. And so, some of these cats, some of these younger folks may not even be able to put some of that music out because it would get classified as like I can recall if you made rock music and you were black and you sent your 8x10 and your tape to a label and they saw you and they're gonna look at your picture and they're going to go, well, this belongs in the R&B department. And the R&B department is going to take your picture and your music and put it on and go, this is like, they're going to just throw it in the trash. It's like, it
Right, and then
doesn't,
radio wouldn't play it because it isn't black enough for that format, and it's a hard time trying to find a place for your music. Yeah.
right, 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 exactly. And, I just think that, with people like some of these youngsters and some of the new producers and next generation of like even like with DU with Mega and with So Too and all of them, their musical taste is much more eclectic now, um, because people listen to music through playlists now and not just one concise album or like we said, some manufactured kind of sound that labels control. People's musical taste is it varies, it's vast.
Mhm.
I mean, So Too, what you think in regards to your opportunities to make music in this era?
Um, I think it's better for the creative for sure, like myself, because you be able to share as you want to and not having to be limited to a contract or some of that nature to where you kind of stifles your creativity. So I feel like it's great. This era is more free to be able to share and get your artistry out there to the people that, fuck with you.
Right, and rather instantaneously.
Yeah. You don't have to
Um,
wait months and a year or quarterly, like you said. Like
right.
you would have to like make sure that you met a certain. I mean, it has its advantages and its disadvantages too, as far as just having to like deadlines don't really be met sometimes or things of that. Like you it's a little more structured, but you just have to create that structure for yourself
Yeah,
and find a state of flow that works for you and be able to like share consistently to where you can make that way for yourself. And it's very it's not easy, but it's very attainable in this era. You don't need a corporation to do it for you, but you know,
I,
it's,
I,
One of
I,
the challenges that a lot of independent artists and newer artists have is overcoming that mental block of, well, I don't want to seem corny because I'm promoting my stuff, or I don't want to constantly post about the same songs.
Well, that's where
But
that's where the advantages of having a label, I guess, because you have people that work in a department that you're not comfortable
and you
with.
pay for it too.
That too.
Way too
Mm,
much. Way
way
too. I
too
mean,
much.
way too much. It would be worth it to find another way. I mean, like Mega, when you sit up and you think about the opportunities to be able to put that music out right now, and to be able to kind of control the situation, do you think it would be better to? Because there were consequences. You did have to turn things in on time and meet deadlines because the music and stuff is scheduled. There's schedules when you are on a label and there's a lot of different artists. But being your own artist on your own label, the advantages and disadvantages probably, they're a bit of each. But what would you think would be the advantages, Mega?
Of today's
Yeah, putting out your own music on your own time.
well, yeah, that'd probably be the biggest advantage, just having the abilities to upload. For instance, I'll use the Kendrick Lamar and Drake thing. Apparently Kendrick Lamar stated that none of those songs were pre-recorded, so when they were done, he just had the ability to just
Right.
put it on YouTube.
Mm.
So that, I mean, that'll be my prime example of why it's a luxury. Now, is it a curse as well? Yeah, because therefore things, the airways get flooded.
Right.
Now everybody's putting out everything. You know what I mean?
Right.
Which it kind of makes it a little harder to stand out. I mean,
Sure.
Things become a little saturated, but having that ability though, because I'm pretty sure if back when the 90s were popping, golden era, right? I'm pretty sure if the golden era had the abilities to just upload that shit, I'll fucking upload all types of shit.
It'd be a million rappers.
I mean, you guys would have probably been uploading jam sessions, not just fucking
Right.
projects.
Oh,
Like, y'all
absolutely.
would have been doing.
Absolutely.
It'd have been sick with it. You know what I mean? So
Absolutely. Be like, so listen to this part right here. Listen to this part right here. Right. Yeah. Just that little cool ass part, like in a band jam rehearsal.
Yeah.
You're right.
I guarantee though it'll be a lot more people discovered as well that were not discovered just because they didn't
Sure.
have that ability to put themselves out there like that. But they're probably just as talented. It'd be a lot of that too.
The fact is that it wouldn't have been so bad, the plantation era, if it wasn't for the idea that
360.
right, well, and this is pre 360.
Yeah.
360 came like even later, but the idea of
It was like
Back
the
to the
remodel.
Flintstone era.
right, but no,
Okay.
I'm talking about the idea of if the labels had been a better partner or fair partner for the artist instead of they take 92% and you get 8% and you recoup at 8%. That's what a lot of fools don't
You gotta pay it
understand.
back.
Yeah, and not you're not just paying it back as the monies are being made. You're paying it back at only 8%. You understand? So it's like really ridiculous. It would take you so much money
Right.
to recoup, like $100,000. It would take you literally like I don't know how many, 1 point something million to get back the $100,000 to them at 8%. And so
And remember, one radio promotion, 150.
it don't, and then you got to do a video.
And
you
that's
think you want to do a video?
300 to 500,000 and up because they just, didn't care. They spend tons of money
Yeah. And now
because you were
it's-
gonna
you
pay
do
it
with your
back
phone.
for the rest of
Yeah.
your life. Hopefully.
Yeah, so it was ugly, but the trade off had always been back in the day, whether it was Motown or whatever, was that these people got to earn a living performing each
Exposure.
night,
Yeah.
touring, gigging.
Yeah,
that was their money was the live gate, not the songs, not the record.
At the gate. Yeah.
And so a lot of people have understood that, and hopefully, what happens is they put you into an opportunity big enough for you to generate a name
Lay that shit.
to go, so that you can even go out and support it. So the trade-off has always been we keep the record and the record money for the most part, and you get the tour money. And and then after you get through dealing with
merch.
that, so
But Chop,
mm,
looking at the performance level of a lot of these acts
oh
that have
yeah,
been pushed out the door,
yeah,
it's like, what?
yeah.
Like
It's yeah.
you miss the words A&R.
Artist and repertoire, which was a real art form and a real
Right.
talent. And to be able to take an artist and put them with a songwriter, then put them with an arranger, then put them with the producer, and then all the different things, and and get the A&R was, it had to pick the song, and it was genuinely someone who was in touch with the music. That's why back in the day, a lot of the radio DJs would be A&R. People like that would know what rocks the party because they're in there playing the records or they're playing them at radio. And so, there used to be different ways we gauge what a record was or what an artist could be. And, I keep thinking about now, like we're talking, it is crowded out there. Every hopeful, not just the people with talent but even just hopefuls. And then some who just feel like it's something to make money from and they're just going to try it and they're not really into it for the art, just the commerce.
It kind of goes back to the influence. Like, you got to be an influencer now more than just an artist at this point. I mean, honestly, that's the way to separate yourself from the pack, because unless you already got a name, or like how we kind of have, in the sense of having some type of legacy attached to it where you can kind of separate yourself from the rest of everybody, as far as like trying to just get on from your talent alone. Like, you have to have something else.
Yeah.
That makes somebody want to buy into what you're doing. And even your song could be trash, but if you're promoting yourself, you got to be able to not just promote the music, but promote yourself as well. So it kind of, it's more work nowadays.
It's about a brand.
Yeah.
It's about building your brand.
Your own
right.
brand.
It's about building your brand, and the music, a lot of times for a lot of people, does seem to be secondary. And it's like, and they're using the music and the art to just blow up and get into, the industry, as it were, whether they want to actually be actors or whether they want to be whatever else they want it to be.
It's like the easiest way to get into
it's one of the avenues to get in.
Yeah, it definitely is.
That's true.
And I've watched a lot of, like, we were watching some of the Caucasian brothers that rap, and how they're able to get in with a rap song, and next thing you look up and they are in movies, and it's like rap was just a mean to an end to be able to get up in through the door. And I mean, I don't care if it was a Kid Rock, I don't care
Post
if it
Malone.
was
Post Malone.
Who was that with?
Post Malone.
With Jelly Roll.
Jelly Roll.
Why do you say it like Jelly
But the real deal is that, hip hop has definitely seemed to be a avenue. I mean, even Vanilla Ice. I mean, he back in the day, they was making movies and shit with him like he was actually good.
Go Ninja, go Ninja, go.
But the real deal is,
Icon.
that's gone on for years though. A lot.
Malibu's Most Wanted.
Right. And that's gone on for, even if you want to go all the way back to even Elvis and a lot of that stuff. They've always been able to slide up into the culture in different ways, and utilize something that we need and we rely upon to do this. They just use it just as, like we said, as an entryway into the rest of the arts. But some are actually, there have been a few that are actually good at what they do, and I'm sure you guys know better than we just watched Eminem last night on the boxing match. That was an incredible event. Judy Klein.
That's kind of weird.
What, the last night boxing match?
No, but having Eminem there, it's like,
well, he's putting out an album, so it's kind of like a press run type shit.
Yeah, but what he got to do with the Saudi dude though?
Well, what do any of them have to do with the Saudi dude? He bringing the money.
Right.
Yeah, he's getting paid.
He bringing the money.
The only reason why I say it's weird is because why not have a West Coast artist
He was.
You're in
Eminem.
LA. Eminem's not West.
Dr. Dre is his producer.
As far as
Love Detroit, man. Dilla all day.
you know what I'm
But-
saying?
Oh yeah,
right here.
definitely.
We just had the thing with K Dot and all that other shit happening at the forum. Like, why would you not keep that going? And but that's why I was like, who did Saudi do? You know,
Well,
obviously he's an Eminem fan.
For sure.
This-
Well,
Why
it's
you
a
book
high
that much?
profile opportunity to show your music off, right? And
That's what I'm saying. And it's for the
back
West
to
Side.
going back to what the Stone Age does, right? That's one of the
Yeah,
advantages to
right.
being signed with the label. They will push you up there in front of the big opportunities where there's
I just thought it
millions
was
of
weird.
eyeballs and a lot of
Yeah.
people.
it was strategic, and chances are this event was planned a while back. But the idea of it all was, Judy, it was an interesting event last night. The boxing match that was here at the BMO Stadium was put on by Turkey Shabazz. Oh, I forget what his name exactly.
House
Doesn't
Shabazz.
His name. He's coming out as a promoter. He threw a big event last night. He had some undercards that were good, and then he had lots of fireworks and all this stuff. And then he brought out Eminem to do a concert, and it looked like the guy was really trying to promote himself and his boxing promotion situation. And he looks like he has Mr. Deep Pockets, and everybody was gathering around him. It was a very unique event in terms of you would watch the fighters fight, and then after they would fight, they'd be sitting next to him and stuff in the audience. It was amazing of
Why
what
y'all
this
act
was.
like that's not normal in LA?
Oh,
That's
that was
like
Adam
any other
Sandler in a
event.
costume.
Right. Because
Every other event in LA. And what?
it didn't. It wasn't. We've not seen boxing promoted like that here at all. It was very unique what happened last night. And then for him to put on a major act like Eminem, who came out and did about 20 minutes, and then put the headliner boxing match on last. It's like we're used to boxing coming on. The headliner comes on at 8:00 normally. I don't care what happens. And
Well,
this
don't they
guy,
do the same thing in Vegas? Because I remember the last time I paid attention and there was a Mayweather match. You had Jamie Foxx performing.
no, this was a situation where the headlining boxing match didn't start till about 10:30 at night.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? It was really like, it was an event that was huge. I mean, really huge. And it looked to be very entertaining. But nonetheless, Eminem was the guy last night, and he was rocking and doing his thing.
But did he do 8 Mile? Because that's what I really care about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think
Okay,
he did.
good.
Anyway, the bottom line is releasing music in this era and the opportunities, and you know
What I've seen that's been interesting? Conversely, you'll have artists that are super talented that put the music out there and go, there, I put the music out and don't want to do anything to
Right.
promote it or
Right.
anything behind it.
right.
And it's like, you just can't put it out there. You got to actually post.
Right, exactly.
You actually got to inform people, let them know. You got to do some marketing so people see it. And what people, I think, fail to understand, unless people are trolling your page, they're not going to see your posts.
Yeah.
They're
That's
just
what I was
not.
saying. That you have to promote yourself. That
Right.
a lot of people are hard. It's hard for them. Like you said, it feels corny to promote yourself 24/7. Be the same song. You have to do it 1,000 times.
Well, you know,
Yeah, you do, but
to
you know
get
what?
the
But
point
it pays
across.
off.
Yeah, it
'Cause
does.
there's an artist there's a couple of artists actually that I fell in love with head over heels on Instagram, and they promote themselves.
Yeah.
And they're just,
Constantly.
coming out of left field, out of nowhere, because nobody's ever heard of them, or maybe, they might have some sort of history, and then they're trying it again in a different setting with the band or group or whatever. But they're promoting themselves because they understand that you have to do that. That's a necessary evil. And I'm sure no artist really wants to spend their time doing that, but it's something that has to happen.
Yeah.
So people can find you and see it and
it
hear your
definitely
music.
it definitely is a thing where talent isn't all it takes. It takes ambition, it
Mhm.
takes drive, it takes initiative, it takes a lot of the other things. I can recall myself, I don't want to say I was an influencer, but I guess I was the dude who would pop up. I bet you ain't got a pair of these. I had the latest sneakers, or I bet you ain't heard this yet, or I bet you ain't. I was from a teenager or little kid on up, the guy who would definitely sit and and bring you something first and try to turn you on to something and ask you about this or ask you about that, and just that that drive to promote other people and to promote stuff. I was Instagram, I was Twitter, I was Facebook, I was all that shit back then, person to person, and and we did used to do that. We would turn each other on to people's music, and let's check this out. Have you ever checked this out? And that's what used to be really, really cool. But I think that one of the things that I know that's going to be really, really important is the ambition and the drive after you put the music up, because there are a lot of people who mistake talent with other shit, and it ain't just about that. And so this is what separates the people who really want this and the ones who just, doing at it. It's really, as a person who is old school, Judy, I have been around folks who, the technology and stuff allows them to feel like pros. You can buy pro equipment now cheap. You can do this, that, but if you don't have a pro attitude with that shit, it's just marketing, and you're just buying this gear, and the shit's not going to go anywhere. And
Well, it's the same way Olympic athletes, right? They focus in on their sport, on whatever their skill is, their talent,
right,
and they hone it. And they're serious about it. And you look at all the music greats. You look at every great artist we've ever had in the past, I don't know, 50 years. They were pretty dedicated to their craft.
sure, absolutely, because at the end of the day, when you take care of the art, the commerce will come. And a lot of people don't believe that. They don't have any examples of it. They don't really know. And it's kind of sad, but it definitely is what it is. You are supposed to take care of the art, and but you are at this point now supposed to have the drive and ambition and set some goals to actually want to make sure that the music does get to people. And you do got to be kind of shameless or whatever it is to be that overt about certain stuff. But you know,
Shameless. Like you said, shameless. People can't be shameless.
well, you just got to, you got to understand what it takes. And it seems like it's like, like even when you're on stage and performing, you have to perform, and you kind of got to separate yourself from the audience, from your being on stage. And so you got to connect with the audience, but you got to be able to, to kind of flow and not get distracted with the audience. And this thing here with putting out the music, you have to stay consistent. You have to have ambition, and you have to have some drive and consistency. That's for damn sure.
Because I will say, as I scroll through Instagram, there are certain artists that literally they will promote themselves 2 or 3 times a day. And I'll see it and I'll hear a clip of the song. And that repetition of hearing that clip of that song makes me familiar with it the same way that radio had that same effect. So that constant posting of a song gives me more opportunities to hear it. It makes me more comfortable with it, more familiar with it. It makes me listen to it a little bit harder.
You get programmed.
Yeah, absolutely. But
like radio.
that's the art.
Well, the thing about it is too, though, they let you know. I watched my man with the guy kept Morgan Spurlock, and he made a doc. He made a bunch of docs, but he made one doc that showed you what it takes to make an impression. There's like, it takes like 1,500 impressions for you to be locked in on a product, and those commercials and those advertisements cost money. Those commercials and those advertisements are on constantly, and some that's so obnoxious, but the real deal is that's what it takes to condition folks to become familiar with your product. And so a lot of times as consumers, we really don't understand what it takes when a lot of people flip it and now they are the merchants, like artists with their music, you have to know how to turn into the merchant and do what merchants do to sell product.
Yeah, you got to play all positions unless you have a team. You got to have a team of people. Like, so you have to keep the same structure about it, but you have to do it yourself.
And
It's a
that's also
do-it-yourself situation.
you brought up a really good point about the team thing.
Mm-hmm.
You've got so many, because you know how you artists are, right?
Mm-hmm.
No diss, but y'all think y'all can do everything.
Mm.
And no man is an island except when it comes to artists, because y'all all think you can do everything. You got to control everything. The same way y'all control your music in the studio, you want to control every single thing. And you got to let go of some of that stuff so other people can get some of that stuff done for you.
Yeah, I think that's just like perfectionism
Yeah, it's just
which
weird.
it's a fear of just letting it go, I
Yeah,
guess.
it's weird.
Well, I mean, they sometimes they tell you got to let go and let God and all that, but you do have to be mindful of, like, it's almost like one of the situations when you do like employment at like a McDonald's, and people used to laugh at McDonald's jobs and stuff, but the one thing that people didn't know is that once you've had a gig at McDonald's, you can get a gig somewhere else. You down the road, it's like they know how to they know you know how to clean up, you know how to cook, you know how to work the cash register, you know how to do these certain things, and so and so within understanding how to put out your own music and stuff without knowing the different jobs and the different duties of what people used to do in those plantations and situations is where you can mess up. So it is worth you learning the idea of what a promotions and marketing person does, what the person in charge of selecting the songs. Back in the day, you would turn in your album, and a lot of times the label people would select what song is going to be the single, not you. So just kind of
Yeah.
understanding the different positions that need to be played is one of the things I think that some people have less of a problem doing, and some people really don't know of all of what is required to basically release music in this digital era and be successful at it. And it takes better. Back in the day, Judy, we used to turn in music, and a promotions person, go, well, it's the music, oh, the music is good. Yeah, it's good, but would it sell? And it's like, what the fuck? It's like, so there's a difference between what they consider what will sell and then what's good.
Well,
And
that's why it's called the music business.
mm-hmm.
Well, I suppose that's the advantage nowadays, that you don't need somebody else to tell you what's hot and what's not. But
Oh, you'll find out when you put it up and don't nobody
well,
listen
that's what
to
I'm
it.
saying. Yeah, I mean, yeah, it's hit or miss. It's definitely, but you can if you're consistent putting out, you're gonna find something that's gonna hit for sure.
Yep.
If you're talented, but if you're just,
Yeah, if stuff is good,
yeah,
right,
if
right,
it's
right.
good, if it's of quality, which most people may or may not have. So it's like he said, it's oversaturated. So anybody can just post, and you can post something just recording from your MacBook Pro.
Right, but the idea of, like when you talk about the promotion, it's like for some people, some of the things that the road that some people take, like for a girl, for a woman, sometimes it might be to put her shake her behind out there. That's what's gonna help promote her thing, or for some cats to, get shot or sell some dope and go to jail, or for some who make the ultimate sacrifice and end up getting killed and all that to be able to be a success and to sell music and to do stuff. We're not willing to pay that price to achieve a fan base, and a lot of these people's fan bases are convoluted with RICO charges, and then also,
But you don't have to. You're already established.
Exactly.
well, I mean, the fact is that, yeah, but I mean, it's like, some things go in and out of style with some people. I don't think that I think good music stays in style. I think good music is relative to, the different stuff that you may be talking about. I mean, it is important to attach yourself or to be attached to something that, I don't know, gives your music value beyond just music. And,
Well, you're
it's,
attached to something.
Well, I ain't talking about me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But
me as well. But I mean, you know, it's something that people already are fans of. So it's kind of like it's only like they like if anything, it strikes their curiosity because if it's something that you liked before, you for sure gonna check it out.
well,
If
you
you
know,
promote, if it's marketed and promoted to you correctly, you'll check it out.
Well,
well,
let
you
me
know,
ask you guys this, because one of the challenges that I see is you see a lot of the older artists who are trying to do music that they probably shouldn't have done because it's from something they should have done 30 years ago or 20
hmm
years ago. And I think a lot of these artists are having a hard time growing up with their fan base. They keep
oh,
reaching back to try to capture the kids, and it's like it's not really connecting.
right. Well, you know, that's what is so cool about us as we get to releasing music under the ChopMaster moniker or the Digital Underground Dung moniker. The idea of it all is that you know we've always evolved.
Mm-hmm.
I've always loved making music that was the next thing that was different. I mean, it's like even when I was making hip hop back in '87 in Oakland, the Bay Area, that wasn't popular. That wasn't popular at all. But I come from playing jazz, and so I'm used to people not necessarily liking the
Right.
music I'm playing. But the real deal is that it became it's very important to evolve. And I know that we've touched on different genres and made all different kind of music, and we've been blessed enough to um, have you know our next generation of cats under us and younger sons, family members, just the next younger generation who are prepared and willing to make these things happen. I think that we can cover a lot of bases, but I'm damn sure about you know my grown folks, and I make music for us all. So I think everybody can appreciate it. I think it's always been kind of a mistake to categorize and to try to do certain stuff because I know at 12 years old, my favorite artist was Gino Vanelli or was some other different kind of grown shit. And to sit up and not know or to think, you know, Return to Forever at 12 years old, I listened to some of the stuff I was listening to as a kid and blows my mind. So, you know, I think that it's really just most important to make it from your heart, be true, be consistent, have some ambition and drive. There's so much good music that we're looking to release. And like I said, we started this off with releasing music in the digital era and the digital distribution era is going to be exciting because it's something I have not yet to do, but I do believe that it's important to get with it. And with the help of the team, we should be able to make some noise and bring people back some good music and some things to want to celebrate and party to and all that good stuff, you know. So I mean, I really don't know. I know that So Too has a releases coming up, and I know that I'm celebrating and commemorating some years in this business, and I'm looking at, you know, one of my childhood classmates running for office, and we're putting out music to try to accompany her campaign. And you know, my Kamala record, I'm looking forward to making noise with, and I think that's something that people could appreciate. And I know my DU fans and the DU people have grown up. They still love some fun and some funk, I'm sure, but I'm more than sure that they've matured into things just like me. And I think that what we're doing now is something good. And so, you know, I think we're gonna feed all people and all the different demographics, and you know, and I'm sure that our fans and the people who like us will find us, and we will find them, and you know, we will go, you know, break dancing in the on the on the gold medal. What is it? What is that thing when they're standing all on the
The podium.
risers on the podiums and getting their medals? Yeah, I think that
Yeah.
we should be there shining because You know, like so too say black is what you say black is gold all on its own, right?
Yeah, I said that.
I do like that actually.
You know,
It's
anyway,
true.
you know, but yeah, as we reclaim the music and bring it back one more time, we did it before, we can do it again. And all you got to do is check us out. You know, I really loved us talking about this, taking the time to talk about the digital distribution for some of the people who are from another era, like myself, as well as So Too and with Dung getting ready to release music in this digital era. I hope the people are receptive, and I hope to, kick ass and be productive with this as we celebrate some more of the bonus round of life and remain grateful. And I suggest that you all do as well. And I believe, Judy Klein, this is a great time to sign off and check out on this episode of the Chop Shop with yours truly, ChopMaster J, your girl Judy Klein, and my man So Too.
Yes.
Mega, we love you. See you next time. Everybody, reach up. That's where we'll be. Peace and respect.